really understood how close I was to getting my records. I literally remember just leaning against the wall, sliding all the way down. At this point, I have really met my exhaustion. We reached the top, and we are going to now enter the office of the records office. And this big, tall, boisterous, kind man, he's very kind. He turns around and just asks us what we need and what is the name that we're looking for. And we only have my birth mother's name, and her name's Flor Mena Hidalgo. And so I gave this name to him, and he said, okay, well, I'll go look in my records and files. He then takes the record and he opens it up. And there I see on the front page, he starts pointing to the different parts of the record. Okay, so now is this her name? Yeah, I think that's her name. And he goes, okay, how's it spelled? And I said, oh, well, it's Flor, F-L-O-R. And he looks at the record closer and he goes, wait, this says Flora. And he's like, oh, I don't know what to say, but do you have any other documents? Can you go back? Can you call someone to send you some documents to prove her name is Flor? And me and Wade are looking at each other like, what's one letter? Flora? Okay, maybe it was Florida. My parents got the wrong name. And he's like, oh, you guys have brought nothing. You guys have brought no proof. And so I need something to tell me that it's Flora. I need proof and evidence, right? But we're only here for like 6 or 7 more days, and we are not planning on going back and then coming back. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't give you the record. 80-page bound record sitting in front of me. I can't have it. There is no way I got this close to the records of my family. And it's okay, he just comments, because again, a kind guy, really kind, he wants to help us. He's like, right here are your parents, and if you look at the signatures, are those your parents' signatures? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, the adopted parents. He's like, and then I had thought in my own mind, how do I know, Well, I had seen my parents fill out checks. And so it was really important to me as I saw those signatures, I realized something happened in me. And my mind finally understood, things started clicking, and it said, you are Ana Katia Mena Hidalgo. You were adopted. These Americans did come get you. And you are standing in your country of Costa Rica. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was the first time in my life that the reality, the full reality hit me. Strangers came and got me. But I've learned who they are, and they've loved me. They are my family. So as I'm staring at it and everything, and I mean, not only to make matters worse, that only, further had me be like, can I have my documents? I want my record now. He said, I'm gonna have to figure something out and maybe still look for another name. We didn't bring any papers. We brought no evidence, not of my parents, my adopted parents, nothing. So he thought maybe there's something else. So I went and I sat on the ground, and at this point, I have really met my exhaustion level. I mean, I have gone hours to do so many things this week and up against so many things. And so to be this close, I was just I thought I was frustrated before. No, I was overwhelmed. I literally remember just leaning against the wall, sliding all the way down, sitting on the floor. I didn't care what was on that floor. I just sat and I bawled. I've got to have those. As usual, it always came. Pray, believe, and have faith. So I prayed. And he understood how close I was to getting my records. And let me understand in answer to who was I? My identity, something that I struggled with. And a lot of my questions were, who am I? Why am I here? And then finally, Wade yells out to me and he said, come here, Anna. So I go up to the counter and the same record's sitting there. And the man smiles and he opens to a certain page. And as he opens, I'm looking at the pages and thinking, I'm gonna be okay. And then he leans over and he starts taking this tiny piece of paper out from the pages. And he holds it up and he said, I saw this and I was about to throw it out. And he smiles. He goes, well, we don't usually keep these. They're always thrown away. He's like, but do you want to take a look at it? I said, sure. And he slides it towards me. And I look down and I notice there's an A on my mother's name. And there on the top line it says Flora Mena Hidalgo. But remember, the pages said Flor. And so the contrast is you need to prove to me, Flora. This name tells us, because it was still in her record and because someone did not choose to throw it away, this name shows us and proves to us that this record is yours. And I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, this darn little piece of paper. He's like, you're lucky it never got thrown out. This is what gave you your record. And I have to share this. It's just beautiful. But he brings the copy back and just his mention of this was just wonderful. He hands us the copy and it's warm. The pages are so warm. I'm so glad. And then he stops. And he looks at both of us. And he says, I could see the light in both of you. I just knew. And he's like, I'm so grateful that I am able to help you too. We made that way home. We opened the records. We went over the records. We read the records. And I was told distinctly that I would need to know what's inside the records before the next thing could happen. And in the records, it basically shared of what happened when the state actually chose to come looking for us, because someone had called on my mom, my birth mother, and said, we're concerned about these children. So the state then took us because of the grounds of what details were given to us. And as social workers, those grounds were abuse, neglect, heavy neglect. And and they recorded every moment of it. So they literally say, we go up to this mountain, we go down the mountainside, we pass a bridge, and then there's a stream, there's some trees, and it opens up, and there's the shack. We enter in, and we find the children. We take the children, and we take Anna to the nutritional center because she is at 3rd grade malnutrition, pretty much ready to die. She has 3rd grade anemia, and the children don't talk, they don't speak, they don't move. They have had no hospitals near them, no schools near them, no people near them, no interactions. They sit on the dirt all day long. The mother leaves 3 months at a time while they wait. Thankfully, to the care of someone she knows, who every so often, maybe every few weeks, drops food off for the children. We now need to take these children and give them a place so their needs can be met. We're going to next take them to the orphanage. We're reading this, and it's like a story. Like, they go into birth mom, my mom and her situation. And this is what I have wondered growing up. What is mom like? What is the situation like? Where's her home? We read that mom is an alcoholic. Mom has put herself in a mental institution for 5 years. And mom does not dress the children, feed the children, take care of the children. Mom will come back every year pregnant. But she does have someone that she's with. But we cannot tell who the fathers are of any of these children. Mom made many poor choices. And it was really hard for me to understand, like, this is my mom. So we sat there and we gained all this information. What was most important, what was highlighted, was the next page. And so when we went to continue to read where I was born, we had no idea because we only had the name of my birth mother. So as we turned the page, we kept reading, and the state thankfully had recorded that San Vito, Costa Rica, would be the last location where the mother was found.